I'm Sarah Barnes, Senior Project Lead at Technova Solutions. My manager betrayed me, blamed me for his own lies, and threw me under the bus. In this dramatic story of deceit, jealousy, and revenge, see how I gathered evidence, rallied allies, and forced a corporate reckoning. This isn't just a career story. It's a dark journey from betrayal to justice. The sharp beep of Sarah's alarm ripped her from a restless slumber. Today was the live demo for Project Aurora, a compliance dashboard Technova had spent a year perfecting. She leapt out of bed, slipping into her navy blazer and black trousers. Her coffee brewed as she double-checked her notes on the Commerce Regulatory update sent 2 days earlier. Rick Hahn, her project manager, had instructed her to ignore it and focus on the original timeline. She had felt uneasy, but as Rick was a proven leader, she complied. Until now. A text from Rick flashed on her phone. Sarah, the VP's conference call is at 10 a.m. Be ready to speak. Do not mention the commerce memo. Trust me. She realized Rick planned to throw her under the bus. Instead of responding, she tucked the phone away, steeled herself, and headed out. The lobby's polished marble shimmered under bright lights as Sarah rode the elevator to the 12th floor. The open plan workspace buzzed with engineers sipping coffee, tapping keyboards, and jotting on whiteboards. She passed her desk where unread emails glared. Legal! Emily, did you integrate the commerce encryption module? Rick, trust me, no issues. Her stomach fluttered. She summoned resolve. If Rick forced her into a lie today, she would gather proof to expose him. Sarah found Rick at the head of the long table, flanked by QA lead Malik, DevOps ace Jenna, engineers Diana and Jake, UX designer Elena, and product owner Josh. The air reeked of stale coffee and unspoken tension. Rick eyed Sarah with a smug grin. Rick, Sarah, run me through the timeline. We need to appear on track. Sarah clicked her laptop, projecting a Gantt chart. We completed modules A and B. Alpha build is scheduled next week, beta in 2 sprints, as planned. Rick watched her every move. She swallowed hard and addressed the commerce memo. We received a mandate requiring an encryption submodule by Q3. If we push forward without it, we risk a compliance failure. Rick's smile froze into a sneer. VP Lewis doesn't need that complication. We present the original plan. Agreed? Sarah felt bile rise in her throat, but nodded. She realized he intended to lie on her behalf. He's gambling with our careers, and will have me take the fall. Sarah's laptop camera clicked on. Rick joined from his office, followed by VP Sandra Lewis's stern face flanked by CFO Jenna Alvarez and CTO Maya Singh. VP Lewis, why hasn't Project Aurora integrated the commerce security module? Rick turned and forced Sarah to speak. Sarah, please explain. I forwarded the memo to Rick on April 2nd. He told me to proceed as planned, assuming we'd patch security later. VP Lewis's brow furrowed. Why wasn't that raised to me? We require proactive leadership. Rick chimed in. Sarah didn't raise it in our stand-ups. Geez, the delay is due to her oversight. Voices fell silent. Sarah's face burned with humiliation. I did raise it. The record is in Slack. Rick cut her off, his eyes cold. Team leads must escalate issues. Sarah failed in her duties. VP Lewis's tone grew sharp. Sarah, you need to demonstrate accountability. Fix this, or we'll find someone who can. The call ended. Rick half smiled as he sipped coffee. Good job. He walked away, leaving Sarah crumpled in her chair. Sarah exploded into Rick's office. His back was to her as he typed. How dare you blame me? You told me to ignore the compliance memo. Rick remained unmoved. If I didn't shift the blame, they'd have come for me. Loyalty is one way in this office. You knew the stakes. So you sacrificed me to save your skin? Rick shrugged. Office politics. Welcome to the real world. Sarah's fists clenched as Rick turned away. Betrayal tastes bitter, but vengeance will taste sweeter. Sarah returned to her desk, shaking. She opened her email in Slack. Each ping felt like a knife. She saved the conference recording to a secure folder, then began copying every related email, Slack message, and Jira ticket into a new document. April 2nd, 8:12 a.m. Sarah forwards commerce memo to Rick. April 3rd, 9:15 a.m. Rick's Slack. Handle later. April 5th, 10 a.m. Conference call. Rick blames Sarah. Her screen scrolled with undeniable proof. She exhaled, mind stealing for the battle ahead. He threw me under the bus. Now I'll drive the bus over him. The office hummed, but Sarah felt isolated. She opened an urgent email. From Legal, Emily. Sarah, did you integrate the commerce encryption module? We need clarity for our filing. Sarah's fingers trembled as she typed. Emily, Legal. I forwarded the commerce memo to Rick on April 2nd at 8:12 a.m. He told me to proceed without integration. Please refer to my forwarded email. Sarah. She hesitated, then deleted it. Involving Legal would ignite a firestorm she wasn't ready to face alone. At lunch, Sarah sat in a corner booth. Two colleagues in line whispered. Colleague 1. Did you hear Sarah blew the demo? Rick must have covered for his nephew. Colleague 2. Rick's the boss's favorite. She didn't stand a chance. Their amusement felt like nails on a coffin lid. Sarah's anger flared. If they see me as cannon fodder, I'll show them the cost of betrayal. She bolted her salad and left, ignoring sympathetic glances. In the QA war room, Sarah found Malik leaning over test results. Malik, look at these build logs. Alan's commits bypassed the tests. Jenna patched them, but Rick directed you not to halt production. Malik nodded, guilt flickering. Rick pressured me. He told me if I blocked nephew commits, he'd have me reassigned. I'm sorry. Sarah's voice wavered with rage and sympathy. We need hard evidence. Logs, tickets, Slack threads. If we expose Rick to Rosa, we might force his hand. I'm with you. Anything to see him pay. They pored over logs, time-stamping each pipeline bypass and staging fix. Sarah's fury became focused. Betrayal burned in my chest. Now it's fuel for my vengeance. Sarah stormed into Rick's office again. I'll prove you lied about me. You can't hide behind your title. Rick looked up, eyes colder than ever. Try if you must, but the board trusts me. I have allies. Allies who will turn on you when they see the truth. I'd watch your back if I were you. No one survives a direct hit on me. Sarah turned on her heel, anger blazing. He sees me as prey, but I'll become the hunter. Sarah sat before Simone, HR lead, in a small windowless office. Rick's directive is in writing. Slack, email, every timestamp. I want to file a formal complaint. Simone sighed, tapping her pen. Rick's track record is strong. If you file, we must investigate. Are you prepared? Yes, I'm tired of being scapegoated. Simone stared, sympathy mingling with caution. Document everything, emails, tickets, logs. We'll proceed but expect fallout. Sarah nodded, steely. If honesty brings chaos, I'll embrace chaos for justice. Sarah met Malik at a nearby cafe before dawn. He arrived in jeans and a hoodie, exhaustion etched on his face. I need your help, and Jenna's. Rick tried to bury the memo. I have partial proof, but need pipeline logs. Malik, I'm in. Jenna's already tracking commit bypasses. Let's bring this to Rosa. They sipped bitter coffee, forging a pact of vengeance. I was betrayed. Now I'll ensure no lie remains unexposed. Sarah and Malik arrived at Engineering Director Rosa Chin's office. Rosa, stern but fair, greeted them. I've read your email, Sarah. The evidence is compelling, but Rick has strong board support. We need airtight proof. Sarah laid out emails and Slack screenshots. April 2nd, 8:12 a.m. Forwarded commerce memo to Rick. April 3rd, 9:15 a.m. Rick's Slack handle later. Malik handed Rosa an encrypted USB containing pipeline logs showing multiple passes for Alan's commits. This is rock solid. I'll request an immediate closed board review. They can't ignore this. Sarah exhaled, hope and rage mingling. They'll see the truth, and Rick's betrayal will cost him his career. Sarah and Malik met Jenna among humming servers. The Jenkins dashboard displayed green bars. Did you confirm which PRs bypassed tests last quarter? Jenna, yes, C. 13 bypasses tied to Allen's branches. Here are the logs with timestamps. Jenna clicked to show a filtered list. Bypass detected. Commit 8 of 30D. Author Allen Bradley. Reason approved by PM Hahn. Sarah's eyes narrowed. Thank you. This will bury him. Jenna nodded. No more golden passes. I set the pipeline to include all branches. Rick can't override anyone now. With each log line, I carve away at Rick's facade. The boardroom's polished table gleamed. Maya Chen and board chair Linda Park sat at the head, flanked by CFO Jenna Alvarez, CTO Emma Wu, and independent directors Nolan C. and Priya Kumar. Rick, suspended but present, watched anxiously. Sarah entered with Rosa and Malik, sliding into seats beside Rosa. Sarah's folder contained her assembled evidence. Linda, Miss Barnes, Miss Chen has informed us of your allegations. Present your case. Sarah took a slow breath and spoke with quiet intensity. Board members, here are the dated communications, proving Rick Hahn instructed me to ignore a mandatory commerce compliance memo. On April 2nd, at 8:12 a.m., I forwarded that memo to Rick. His reply, on April 3rd at 9:15 a.m., said handle later. Then, on April 5th at 10 a.m., Rick blamed me for not escalating the issue in a conference call with VP Lewis. She clicked to slides showing pipeline logs with shaded entries. As you can see, Allen Bradley's commits bypassed CI tests 13 times, each labeled approved by PM Hahn. That's direct evidence of privilege. QA patched them in staging, but production exposures followed. Maya's expression hardened. Rick's composure shattered. Linda, Mr. Hahn, how do you respond? Rick's face reddened. I was under intense pressure from VP Lewis to deliver. I made an error in judgment, but Sarah, she didn't escalate. Project leaders escalate. Sarah's fury pulsed under her calm exterior. I escalated. You suppressed the message. You jeopardized compliance for your timeline. That's not a mistake. It's negligence. Linda raised a hand. We will now vote on Mr. Hahn's fate. 6 hands rose in favor of termination. Maya, Linda, Jenna, Emma, Nolan, and Priya. 2 members abstained. Mr. Hahn is terminated, effective immediately. Miss Barnes is reinstated as Project Aurora lead. Rick's final glare burned into Sarah, but she held her head high. The auditorium brimmed with employees. Maya and Linda stood on stage. Sarah joined them. A banner read, Tech Nova United, Integrity even in adversity. Yesterday, we faced a serious breach of trust by a senior manager. We have taken swift action to protect our culture. Effective immediately, Sarah Barnes will lead Project Aurora to completion. Applause thundered through the room. Sarah's vision blurred with emotion as she gripped the podium. Thank you. Today, we move forwards with integrity at the core of our mission. I vow to lead this project with honesty and transparency. If you see wrongdoing, speak up. No one deserves to be sacrificed for someone else's ambition. The crowd rose, chanting, Sarah! Sarah! Allowed herself a single tear. Betrayal may have been my crucible, but truth is my weapon. Sarah awoke before dawn, haunted by memories of betrayal. She brewed a strong coffee, wrote a reassuring text to her parents. I'm okay. Trust me. Then she laced up her sneakers and ran along the city waterfront, each breath clearing her resolve. She would lead Project Aurora to success, vindicating every colleague who believed in her. In the Sky Lounge's golden sunlight, Sarah, Malik, and Jenna huddled over fresh laptops. Today, we finalized the revised Project Aurora plan. Integrate the Commerce Encryption module this sprint. Expand QA cycles and security audits. Deploy nightly test builds for early detection. Jenna, CI pipeline has been updated, no bypass. Any code by Allen or anyone else triggers full regression. Malik, I've scheduled QA to run extra manual tests on staging environment every evening. We also need to share this with HR. Carla, we must ensure no retaliation for honest reporting. Malik exchanged a relieved glance with Sarah. Thanks to you and HG, people feel safe to speak up. From shadowed rage to transparent progress, we redefine our culture. Sarah met Carla in HR for a lessons learned session. Carla outlined new measures. We've launched anonymous reporting tools, mandatory ethics training, and quarterly report up workshops. We also revised performance metrics to reward honesty, not just results. Sarah nodded, emotion simmering. Thank you. Without these measures, we risk repeating the same mistakes. Your fight saved more than Aurora. You saved every Tech Nova employee. Sarah found Malik on the rooftop earlier that day. The sun slanted golden across the glass towers. Last week, I felt alone and abandoned. Now I see how many stood behind me. Malik, we always had your back. You just needed to trust us. Sarah exhaled, breathing in the hawthorn-scented air. Being under the bus nearly crushed me, but it also revealed who truly rides alongside me. Daybreak found Sarah in a glass-walled boardroom with CFO Jenna Alvarez and two major shareholders on a video call. Morgan Tech's analyst grilled Sarah. How can we trust Tech Nova won't backslide? Show me metrics. Sarah clicked through her slides. Incident rate dropped 95% since policy revision. QA pass rate increased by 30%. Employee satisfaction surveys rose 20% after anonymous reporting launched. These numbers are reassuring, but what about long-term governance? The board approved a Director of Engineering Governance role, that's me, charged with ongoing audits, oversight, and training. No claim is too small to ignore. Investors exchanged nods. The call concluded with cautious optimism. On the bullpen floor, the team celebrated quietly. A small "Thank you, Sarah" banner hung in the DevOps corner. The whiteboard listed the updated Aurora sprints, each square green or yellow, no red zones. Sarah passed desks, offering encouragement. Great job fixture testing. Keep eyes sharp. Small glitches can hide in shadows. Developer E. We found a vulnerability this morning. GitHub logs showed a malformed encryption handshake, fixed in minutes. Excellent. That's the power of collective vigilance. Alan Bradley, now a mentor in her group, approached shyly. Sarah, I want to help clean up legacy code. I realize how much harm my bypasses caused. Sarah studied him for a moment, weighing his sincerity. Show me consistent honesty, Alan. Earn trust rather than expect it. He nodded, humbled. Even the most hated passenger can redeem themselves, if they ride with integrity. Tech Nova's monthly all hands filled the auditorium. Maya and Linda took the stage with Sarah. I want to publicly acknowledge Sarah Barnes for her leadership in transforming our culture. We have implemented 360 degrees feedback, mandatory compliance audits, and fully transparent reporting. The crowd applauded. Sarah raised her hand in silent thanks to Malik and Jenna, standing in the back. I nearly lost everything under the bus. Today, I stand as a steward of truth. Sarah woke at 6 a.m., determined to stay fit in mind and body. She laced up her trainers and ran along the waterfront, chewing over last week's glory and today's D&I keynote. The rain had washed the city's grime. Now, each breath tasted fresh resolve. Tech Nova's Stand Up Speak Out event drew hundreds. The stage's giant screen read, Building an Inclusive, Accountable Culture. Sarah's senses buzzed as she ascended the lectern. I was thrown under the bus for doing the right thing. My project manager lied, pinning blame on me. But I found allies, Malik in QA, Jenna in DevOps, Rosa in engineering, and Carla in HR, who believed in truth over politics. Gasps rippled through the audience. We exposed the lies, overhauled our policies, and rebuilt trust. If you see wrongdoing, document it, find allies, and speak up. The cost of silence is your integrity. Applause erupted as employees, some teary, some inspired, rose to their feet. Sarah co-led a Reporting Up Safely workshop. She coached small groups through scenarios. A manager instructs an engineer to overlook data anomalies. A colleague suspects discrimination in promotions. An HR partner handling a harassment complaint. Participants role-played. Sarah gave feedback. Document every email and log. Bring your evidence to a trusted ally, be they QA or HR. Do not remain silent. The room buzzed with shared stories, painful but healing. That evening, Sarah, Malik, Jenna, Carla, and Rosa gathered on the rooftop. Fairy lights glimmered against the darkening sky. Since the policy changes, we've had 10 anonymous reports. We addressed everyone within 24 hours. Rosa, team morale is at an all-time high. Engineers are more collaborative now that no one fears retribution. Malik, we caught 2 critical vulnerabilities this week, thanks to the new process. Sarah raised her soda. To the courage that turned betrayal into opportunity, may no one ever ride under the bus again. They clinked bottles, a soft harmony in the night. At 8 a.m., Sarah watched Tech Today's Tech Spotlight cover her story. TV anchor, how Sarah Barnes's whistleblower courage reshaped Technova's entire culture. Her battle with manager Rick Hahn exposed systemic nepotism and led to a $2 million policy overhaul. Scroll of online comments popped up. User X. Finally, a woman in tech taking a stand. User Y. But she tarnished a good manager. Was it necessary? The hate stung. Sarah clenched her fists but refused to back down. Sarah joined CFO Jenna Alvarez as they faced a bristling panel of shareholders. Sabreco Capital's rep asked, Ms. Barnes, with media stirring controversy, how do you ensure that Technova's leadership remains stable? Sarah answered crisply, transparency, accountability, and relentless testing. We now have publicly visible dashboards of code coverage and incident rates. Any executive can't hide mistakes. Everyone is accountable. A Redwood Capital analyst nodded but asked, what about brand reputation? Does this scandal hamper future contracts? Sarah leaned forward. Clients value integrity. Aurora's full compliance module shipping on time will restore and exceed trust. Our new policies safeguard that precedent. They concluded the call on a cautiously optimistic note. The engineering bullpen burst into quiet applause as Sarah walked through. A "Thank you, Sarah" banner hung above the whiteboard. Malik hurried over, handing her a cupcake. You're a hero here. We believe in you. Sarah, thank you. But we won't rest. This culture demands constant care. They watched as developers decked out laptops with "No one under the bus" stickers. Carla brought Sarah an urgent HR alert. Anonymous email. You made Technova weak. We'll see how you like being under the bus next time. Carla's tone was firm. We've logged it. Security will monitor. But don't let threats distract you. Sarah's stomach dipped, but she nodded. Courage can invite hostility, but fear cannot dictate my path. She logged off her computer and walked away with head held high. Sarah arrived at the DevOps lab where Jenna's monitors flashed a red error. An obscure race condition in the Commerce module had slipped through. She exhaled sharply. Jenna, can you isolate it? Jenna pointed to code on the screen. It occurs only under 500 simultaneous connections. I'll patch it in staging and run regression tests. For 3 tense hours, Sarah and Jenna worked in tandem, rerunning tests, debugging loops. At noon, they declared success. Jenna, patch build 1, 2.3 passes all tests, no failures. Sarah felt relief, but the knowledge that perfection was elusive gnawed at her. She exhaled, proud of her team's relentless vigilance. Sarah and CFO Jenna convened with Maya and Linda for an update. Maya, we're hearing positive feedback, but that bug worried some. Sarah opened her tablet. We isolated and fixed it within hours. Our dashboard shows 0 post-patch failures. We documented timelines, test logs, and the patch process. Linda, thank you for your transparency. Keep this rigor. Any slip from now on invites backlash. Sarah nodded, steeling herself. No more second chances. Redemption's price is eternal vigilance. Sarah met Malik again on the rooftop. The sky was streaked with orange and pink. Another day without a bus ride. That's progress. Sarah smiled, bittersweet. Every day we learn a little more. Today's bug reminded me that even heroes aren't perfect. Malik placed a hand on her shoulder. But you face imperfections with courage. That's what matters. Sarah looked to the horizon, resolve sharpened. Betrayal nearly crushed me. Redemption demands constant struggle. But I'll keep fighting. No running from the next storm. Sarah arrived early in the innovation lab. Jenna and Malik hovered by terminals. Sarah checked the production environment. Jenkins shows 0 errors in the latest build. Commerce encryption is rock solid. Ready for go live at noon. Sarah exhaled, a triumphant warmth filling her chest. She pulled out the letter from Linda Park. Sarah Barnes, our Director of Engineering Governance. Congratulations on embodying Technova's values. Tears sprang to her eyes. She typed a quick acceptance and sent it to Linda. The courtyard overflowed with employees, clients, and local press. A giant banner proclaimed, Project Aurora Live, powered by integrity. Maya, Linda, and Sarah stood on a stage decorated with Technova colors. She faced the roaring crowd. Today we celebrate a momentous milestone. Project Aurora is fully live, and it's accountable, secure, and transparent, thanks to the leadership of Sarah Barnes. She turned to Sarah, handing her a plaque. For unwavering integrity and service to Technova. The crowd erupted in applause. Sarah swallowed tears as she accepted the plaque. Thank you. This achievement belongs to every Technova team member who refused to stay silent. We have proven that integrity is not a luxury, but our foundation. My goal now is to ensure no one is ever thrown under a bus again. At dusk, Sarah and her core team, Malik, Jenna, Carla, Rosa, and a few junior engineers, gathered on the rooftop. Fairy lights twinkled above them. I began under that bus, betrayed and broken. Today, I stand as Director of Engineering Governance. I vow to protect every employee from the cruelty of lies. We've implemented anonymous reporting, quarterly audits, and transparent dashboards. No manager can hide behind deceit. The engineering floor buzzes with collaboration. We built something stronger than any bus. You all drove it. Malik. And we'll keep driving it, ensuring fairness every step. They clinked coffee mugs under the fading light. I once thought betrayal defined me. Now, I define a future where honesty triumphs. No more passengers, only drivers who steer with integrity. As the city lights flickered below, Sarah looked forward, unbowed and unwavering.